She should have been launched into space, seriously. Wow. Let my demon move on. Thank you, Caitlin Clark. So the incompetence of a front office to keep Dantas, of all people, over a player better than her injured than Dantas has ever been under Stephanie White.
322 comments on a goodbye post for a player who barely saw the court. That should tell you everything you need to know about what just happened in Indiana.
Caitlin Clark is, quote, very hopeful about making her return for the Indiana Fever against the LA Sparks on Wednesday night. Clark has been transparent about her timeline, about her recovery, yada yada. Quote, very hopeful for tomorrow. Obviously, I think it will be difficult for me to play both this one on Wednesday and obviously the one on Thursday. But we'll see. Not from a health standpoint. Well, obviously a health standpoint. But just getting back into it. Wait a minute. What? Not from a health standpoint. Well, obviously a health standpoint. But just...
Caitlin Clark is coming back tomorrow night with a minutes restriction, again. And in the same 24-hour window, the Indiana Fever just cut Justine Prasad and let Kennedy Carter walk to the Las Vegas Aces. Two players who could shoot. Two players the fans were begging to see on the court. Both gone. And the one player everyone wanted waived? Erica Duddies is still on the roster.
Right here. Woo! 322 comments. This is going to be something else. This is going to be something else. Wow. 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 This is crazy. Here we go. Justine Prasad should have gotten a chance over Dantas. When you have Caitlin and Kelsey, who are average defenders at best. Wow. Andy Fromell with the heat. You can't play Dantas, who is possibly the worst.
The Fever posted the thank you message for Prasad on Twitter, and the fan base went absolutely nuclear. Not angry, nuclear. Because this isn't just about one player getting cut. This is about a pattern that's been building all season long. And it's starting to feel like the front office is making decisions based on everything except winning basketball games. Let's walk through what actually happened here, because the timeline matters.
Damn, Kennedy. Back to China you go, probably, or Mexico. I think she had a 53-point game in China. God, a scoring machine, but clearly she had missed a bunch of games lately. There was talk of being sick, and I think everybody was going, I'm not so sure about that. And here we are. So she was waived. Justine Prasad was brought in. 12 points a game, 60% from the field, 52% from three-point range in just under 17 minutes. Kennedy Carter is a scoring juggernaut.
Kennedy Carter was averaging 15 points per game in 20 minutes earlier this year. Better shooting efficiency than Kelsey Mitchell at one point. Then she started missing games. The team said she was sick. Nobody believed it. And now she's gone, headed to Vegas to play for Becky Hammon. Meanwhile, Justine Prasad, the player Indiana drafted, put up 12 points per game on 60% shooting and 52% from three in just under 17 minutes of playing time. Those are elite numbers. And she got waived, not traded. Waived. The Aces picked her up immediately. So, here's the question the fans are asking, and it's the one that's driving all 322 of those comments. Why are you keeping the worst defender on the roster and cutting players who can actually score?
Dumber than the sky front office. Trade Cece, as we are tired of your organization. Justine will get a ring. A lot of people are saying it. Prasad will get herself a ring this year. Wow. Can't wait to see how you actually play. Glad you got out of Indiana. You deserve better. Damn. Got to be more careful. Best of luck to you with your new champ.
Erica Doties is shooting worse than she ever has in her career. The defensive metrics are brutal, and yet she's still getting minutes, while Prasad couldn't crack the rotation under Stephanie White. The fans have a theory about why, and it's not a theory you're supposed to say out loud, but they're saying it anyway. One comment flat out asked, "Did Dawn Staley tell you you've got too many white girls on the team?" Another one said the word everyone's thinking, but the media won't touch: culture. That's the word Stephanie White keeps using to justify these roster decisions. Culture. But here's what culture actually looks like in Indiana right now.
Wow. I mean, they are getting, what an incompetent franchise. Woo. You assholes never gave her a chance. I mean, Justine, we are sorry. This is a piece of shit organization. It's a joke. Wow. Culture equals keeping Stephanie White's players she has brainwashed. CC, get out before. Please, we are begging you. I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of people. This is a topic of conversation.
The Fever just sent Justine Prasad to a franchise owned by Mark Davis and Tom Brady, two NFL owners. 7 Super Bowl rings between them. Becky Hammon as the head coach, a woman who is being seriously considered for NBA head coaching jobs because she was one of the top 3 assistants in the entire league under Greg Popovich. That's not speculation. Go back and read the reports from 3 years ago. Multiple NBA teams were looking at her, and now Prasad gets to play for her instead of sitting on the bench in Indiana, watching Erica blow defensive assignments. That's not just an upgrade. That's a completely different tier of professional organization. And the Fever fan base knows it.
I'm fixing to tell you behind the scenes conversations. Many of us are worried that Stephanie White will brainwash Caitlin Clark. It is concerning. She is so lucky to be out of the hands of Steph White. Everyone is praying Caitlin is next. Fixed it. Thank you, Stephanie White. I believe the word I'm looking for is groomed. Give me one game without Caitlin Clark, and I'll give you one of our best players, Justine Prasad. For what? Your low IQ coach didn't play her. Oh, I may have to put this. I've got this saved. This one. Losing is our culture. I may have to put this in my thumbnail.
But the comments under that goodbye post aren't just angry. They're resigned. Justine deserves better. She never got a fair chance. This front office is a joke. Caitlin, get out before they brainwash you, too. That last one is the one that should scare Indiana the most. Because it's not just trolls saying it. It's the core fan base. The people who show up, the people who buy the merch, and watch every game, the people who defend Caitlin Clark in every comment section on the internet. They're watching the Fever make decision after decision that doesn't make basketball sense. And they're starting to wonder if the plan is to build a winning team, or to build something else entirely. And they're not wrong to wonder, because here's what we know for sure.
You know, I mentioned this in my video earlier. Dantes was better under Christie's sides. Just pointing it out. What's the effing point of drafting these young players? Did Dawn Staley tell you you've got too many white girls on the team? Look, just, you know. Oh, Duke. Oh, the Fever in the cock chair. Damn, Coach Anderson, you guys are dumb. Oh my God. I hate 9,000 hates this front office.
When Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell are your backcourt, you need plus defenders around them. That's not controversial. That's just math. You can't run daddies out there when she's possibly the worst defender in the league, according to one fan who actually pulled the numbers. Prasad gave you 3-point shooting at an elite clip and didn't hurt you on defense. She should have been getting daddies minutes, and yet she couldn't get on the court. Why? What's the actual basketball reason? Nobody from the Fever has given one. Stephanie White talks about culture and fit, and the veterans setting the tone, but none of that explains why a player shooting 52% from 3 can't get 15 minutes a game when your offense is built around Caitlin Clark finding shooters. It doesn't add up, and the fans are doing the math themselves.
Yeah, we got you, Caitlin. What the hell's wrong with you, culture? Question mark. Wow. Crushed. Just the Indiana Fever sucks. Dumbest front office. This is nuts. You deserved better. Justine, a fair chance at playing. Fire Amber Cox. Why would y'all do this? Y'all are a bunch of effing clowns. I mean, damn. Justine Prasad has gone to a far better place. Can you imagine this? She left the Fever organization to go to a team that's owned by 2 NFL owners. Mark Davis owns the Raiders. Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champ Tom Brady, is a minority owner.
One comment said, "What's the point of drafting these young players if you're not going to play them?" Another one said, "Losing is our culture." That second one might end up being the thumbnail for this video because it's the most honest 2-word summary of what Indiana has been for the last decade. Losing is the culture. And now they finally have a generational talent in Caitlin Clark, the one player who could actually change that, and the front office is making moves that feel designed to waste her prime years. And the scary part? Some of the fans think it's intentional. Not that they're trying to lose, but that they're prioritizing something other than winning. That the culture Stephanie White keeps talking about is code for something the league office wants, but the fans don't care about. You can read between the lines in those comments. They're not subtle. They're saying the quiet part out loud.
Fever, a star, also shared that there is trending towards playing under a minutes restriction if she is indeed able to go versus the Sparks. Quote, "I would assume I'd be on a minutes restriction tomorrow. Still, hopefully, a little over 20 if I'm able to go, and I feel like I will be. Hopefully, feel good after the game in LA and then be available in Vegas. So, and for the next game against the Aces. I'm sure the television networks that are showing these games hope she's available against Vegas. They're probably hoping Asia Wilson to be back too. I don't know about you guys. I'm hoping Justine.
Let's get back to Caitlin Clark for a second, because this is where the whole thing gets even messier. She's coming back tomorrow night against the Sparks, with a minutes restriction. She said she's hopeful to play a little over 20 minutes. And then she gave this weird quote about how it's not a health issue, but also it is a health issue, but it's really about getting back into rhythm. That's not a quote that inspires confidence. That's a quote that sounds like someone trying to explain a decision they don't fully agree with, but can't say that out loud. And here's the schedule problem. The Fever play the Sparks on Wednesday, then the Aces on Thursday, back to back. Clark basically said she probably can't play both. So, the fans are doing the math again. The network showing the Aces game is probably praying she plays that one because that's the marquee matchup. Aya Wilson might be back, too. That's the game the league wants. But if Caitlin can only play one, which one does Indiana choose? The one that's better for her health and the team's long-term success, or the one the league office wants for ratings?
Yes! That's so good. Now is the time. Fever signed Kennedy Carter, trade Kelsey Mitchell to the LA Sparks for Derica Hamby. Cameron Britt and Kate Martin. Trade Stephanie White to Toronto for Sandy Brondello. That's good. That's good, CDS. Obviously, he's kidding. But, wow. Here we are. What a weird freaking day this has been. What's a weird ass day? Here we go. Indiana Fever. Thank you, Justine Prasad. We never gave you a shot. We never gave you a chance because you don't.
And now here's the part that should actually bother you. The Fever just traded away their depth at guard. Kennedy Carter is gone. Justine Prasad is gone. Caitlin Clark is on a minutes restriction. Kelsey Mitchell is logging heavy minutes and is probably exhausted. And the one player who's safe, the one who's guaranteed a roster spot no matter what the numbers say? Erica Deddes, who, by the way, was better under Christy Sides last year than she is under Stephanie White this year. That's not an opinion. That's in the stats. So, what changed? The coach changed. The culture changed. And somehow, the player who got worse is the one who's protected, while the players who could actually help are getting cut or traded to championship contenders. That's not a rebuild. That's not a development plan. That's something else.
And the Aces. Damn. Talk about, from a franchise perspective, all those rings, what an upgrade. What an upgrade. I mean, I'm just pointing that out. And for all the shit that people have said about Becky Hammon, guys, I will tell you this. Becky Hammon was going to get an NBA coaching job. As a woman. No shit. I'm not kidding you. Teams were heavily looking at her to hire her because of that Popovich Hammon connection. People thought she was like a top 3 assistant in all of the NBA. Yeah, that was a thing. Go back and read the stories. Tell me what you thought.
The comments keep coming back to one word: groomed. Stephanie White is going to brainwash Caitlin Clark. Everyone is praying Caitlin is next to get out. This is a toxic organization. These aren't casual fans. These are the people who've been watching Indiana basketball for years, who suffered through the losing seasons, who finally got excited when Caitlin Clark got drafted, and who are now watching the front office make the same mistakes they always make. Except this time, it feels worse because this time it feels deliberate. One fan said it perfectly: I just wanted to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. That's it. That's the whole thing. Nobody's asking for drama. Nobody's asking for politics. They just want to watch the best player in women's basketball play basketball, surrounded by players who make her better in a system designed to win games. And instead, they're getting minutes restrictions, roster decisions that don't make sense, and a front office that talks about culture while the team underperforms.
Starting to feel more and more like last year. It really is. I swear. Somebody posted the other day, I just wanted to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. Facts. Facts. We got Kennedy Carter in a situation that makes me and Ben Daniel and CDS, we were wrong. Our bad. Kennedy Carter, we thought you had a place. We thought you could make a comeback. At one point this year, you were scoring 15 a game in 20 minutes with better efficiency shooting the ball than Kelsey Mitchell. But clearly, something has happened in Vegas. There was maybe a meltdown behind the scenes, whatever it was. She's no longer with the Las Vegas Aces.
Let's be clear about what just happened with Kennedy Carter, because this one's important. At one point this season, she was scoring 15 per game in 20 minutes, with better efficiency than Kelsey Mitchell. Then she started missing games. The team said she was sick. The fans didn't buy it. And now she's gone to Vegas, and the Fever didn't get anything back. That's not a trade. That's just letting a productive player walk. Why? What happened behind the scenes? Nobody's saying, but the pattern is obvious. Players who don't fit the culture don't last. And the fans are starting to ask what that culture actually is, because it's clearly not win basketball games at all costs. If it was, Justine Prasad would still be on the roster. Kennedy Carter would still be on the roster. And Erica Diss would be playing overseas.
Is wild. So Robin Lundberg, Lundberg. Anybody seen Office Space? Lundberg, yeah.
Here's the thing that's going to define Indiana's season. Caitlin Clark is coming back tomorrow night, on a minutes restriction. The Fever are going to play her 20, maybe 25 minutes, and then sit her while Erica Diss logs rotation minutes. And the fans are going to watch that happen and lose their minds all over again because they've seen this movie before. They watched Christy Sides mismanage rotations last year. They watched the front office make bad draft picks and worse trades. And now they're watching Stephanie White do the same thing, except this time she's got Caitlin Clark on the roster, and she's still finding ways to screw it up. The Aces just got Justine Prasad, a player who can shoot, who fits their system, who's going to get real minutes under Becky Hammon, and probably contribute to another championship run. Meanwhile, Indiana just waived her for nothing. That's not a small mistake. That's a franchise-defining decision, and the fans know it. So, here's the question you need to answer for yourself: is this incompetence, or is this something else? Because if it's incompetence, you fire the front office and start over. But if it's something else, if the decisions are being made based on priorities other than winning, then Caitlin Clark is in the wrong place. And the fans are right to be terrified that she's going to waste the best years of her career in Indiana while the front office talks about culture, and the wins never come. What do you think is actually happening here? Incompetence, or something worse? Drop a comment. And if you're as frustrated as these fans are, hit the like button so the algorithm knows this is the conversation people actually want to have. Subscribe if you want more of this because we're going to keep following this story all season long. The Fever play tomorrow night. Caitlin Clark is back. Let's see if anything actually changes.